Welcome to Italics, television for the Italian-American experience. I'm your host, Anthony Tamburri. It's Gala season in Italian America. This episode of Italics takes us to the St. Regis, New York, and Cipriani 42nd Street for NOIAW, the National Organization of Italian-American Women's Annual Luncheon, and NIAF, the National Italian-American Foundation's 2023 New York Gala. NOIAW honored three accomplished members of our community, Mary Calvi, Cristina Carabetta, as well as Joseph Sciame as Friend of NOIAW. Let's go to the St. Regis. You have a book that just came out, correct?
Yes, I was really stunned, quite honestly, that I was able to find love letters from the 1880s from a Teddy Roosevelt, a young Teddy Roosevelt before he became president, to his first love. And to be able to then not only uncover them, but then transcribe them and then share their story with the world. It was very meaningful for me and really quite a joy.
And you're part of a newer group of Italian Americans that are, as I understand it, you meet like once a month, once every 5 weeks. Tell us something about that.
Yeah, new kids on the block. You know, the younger generation is coming in hot and heavy. But we really developed a really strong group of Italian American young adults in the community. I'm part of other legal organizations and professional organizations, but this is just a fun way for people in different industries to get together and really promote our heritage and talk about our heritage and have something to bond over.
Geraldine Ferrara, Matilda Cuomo, Aileen Syrie, they formed this group that has now gone on for several generations now, and I'm in their corner.
I wanted to start by telling you a quick story that brings us back to Italy. It's decades ago in a beautiful little village in the beautiful hills overlooking olive fields, when in 1 hour, a young teenager's life was changed. You see, in that hour, the immigration papers had come through and a spot opened up on a ship to America. In that hour, this girl had to pack up everything she had. She had to say goodbye to everything and everyone she knew, and she had to rush to the boat. She made it. It was December, and as the ship headed out to sea, she realized she had forgotten her coat. It was a month on that ship without a coat. And I can tell you this, she was cold, but she was not afraid. Today, I stand before you as a proud Italian American who is beyond grateful to those women who have come before us and given so much, not just an opportunity for careers, but also those firm values of love, of commitment, of faith, and of an inner strength and of family. Today, I accept this honor in honor of that girl who in that 1 hour in that small village on the beautiful hills of Italy decided to journey to a place where she did not know the language and she did not know what her future would hold, but yet she had hope and she had it without fear, and she made her life and those beyond her beyond wonderful. And that young girl is here, my mother. She has given me everything a daughter can ask for. And I wanted to add, she always makes sure I'm wearing a coat. Right, Mom? I want to tell you a little story because when she was here and she was on Fifth Avenue, she kept saying, this is unbelievable. Every place there's a sign, sale, sale, sale. How much salt can people buy? When she realized it was sale, then now we've been shopping ever since. So Before I go, I want to mention this, that it's 2 years ago today that we lost my father. My brother is here too, and we miss him dearly. Our final family vacation with my dad was to the place we all feel at home, to that tiny village in Italy where his Calvi bar is still open today. So I really want to say that today is so meaningful to all of us, and I want to thank you all for sharing this with me. It means so much, so thank you very much.
For those that don't know me, my name is Cristina Carabetta. I'm a lawyer and founder of the luxury handbag line, Betta Bag. When I first introduce myself, people tend to ask, sometimes with a bit of confusion, how, or perhaps even why, did a lawyer decide to create a handbag line? To an outsider, it can seem like two completely unrelated worlds. But as soon as you start to hear my story, you'll quickly realize the seemingly random factors blend together to make the perfect recipe. My foundation is built on growing up in an Italian-American family. My mom's side from Caserta and my dad's side from Calabria. We were raised around the Holy Trinity of faith, family, and food. I took a non-traditional route for an Italian-American girl, and I moved out of my parents' house at 17 to attend college in Boca Raton, Florida. After moving in and getting acquainted with my dorm room and my campus, my first stop in familiarizing myself with Boca was Joseph's Italian Specialty Market. Because cafeteria food was not a part of my vocabulary, my mom used to pack our school lunches too. My second stop was the Town Center Mall, where I spent a bit of time seeking retail therapy. I went to college without a clear career path. However, I knew I wanted to be involved with business in some capacity and also fashion. I had a burning curiosity for international relations and learning about different cultures and communities. So naturally, I majored in international business and minored in fashion merchandising. Throughout my 4 years of undergrad, my ideal career was ever-changing, but it always was centered around fashion. At one point, I had a desire to start my own clothing line. Looking back, I think that desire came solely from being liberated of not having to wear Catholic school uniforms anymore. I was honestly just excited to dress myself without knee highs and tights every day. But after college, I decided to attend law school, not with the intention of becoming a litigator, but rather to gain lifelong skills of critical thinking, problem solving, and logical reasoning. While in law school, I knew I wanted to stick to the business route, so I pursued a joint JD and MBA degree. I don't come from a family of lawyers, and I was not in the majority of those who wanted to litigate, so sometimes law school felt isolating. A pivotal moment in my law school career was a visit from the Connecticut Italian-American Bar Association. The board of directors hosted their meeting on campus with the intention of attracting law students. I was already a student member of various other bar organizations, so I figured one more couldn't hurt, and this one was an Italian-American, so obviously an added bonus. A majority of these organizations I was already a part of felt a little stiff and awkward, like each conversation was an interview. But as soon as I walked into the CIABA meeting, I felt relief. Foremost, there was food, pasta, of course, but more importantly, the energy in the room made me feel like I was meeting my extended family. I was instantly drawn in. Shortly after joining the Connecticut chapter, I was introduced to the National Italian-American Bar Association. You can imagine my excitement when I learned there was a national group. Longing for a sense of community and a connection within the legal community, I decided to join NIAWA as a student member. My first meeting was led by Italian-American male lawyers, and it went exactly as you expect. It was very passionate. I recall one of the directors coming up to me and asking if they scared me off. I chuckled and responded quite the opposite. Although I was new to the room, I felt like I was surrounded by family. It was like being in a room with my uncles. I didn't feel judged for my age, for being a woman, or for the career path that I intended on choosing. The board welcomed me with open arms and bacio on both cheeks. I became a board member in 2018, and I was appointed chairwoman of the board in 2021. I love working closely with our board to expand our Italian-American footprint in the legal community. We have such a close-knit relationship that I refer to my NIAW brothers and sisters as my family-in-law.
Let me say how much I'm touched by this honor that you've conferred on me as a friend of NOIAW, for indeed I was there quietly in your corner when you were founded. A bit of history. During the founding days of NOIAW, the Order Sons of Italy in America was still debating the issue of including the word daughters. Now, you know you're Italian better than me. It was Gli Ordini Figli d'Italia. That was children, men and women. But up until about 5 years ago, they're still fighting this. They fought me as a state president. They fought me as a national president. And finally, somebody said, let's put it in for doing business only. Then we changed it completely. But at that time, there was frustration on the part of women in this group. And obviously, it was constantly spoken about. When are you going to change? When are you going to change? And every 2 years at our national convention, I would get up on the floor, sacrifice myself in many ways, take the criticism. And then finally, I was so happy to learn that one day NOIAW was born. So I'm so proud, really, to be a friend of NOIAW. By the way, women have always been a major force in my life, commencing with my two strong grandmothers. Gaetana in Bernone, Sciame. She was quite the lady. You talk about the food. If you know Sicilians like cucitata, you know, the figs and that little cookie. I remember grinding that stuff for her and the attention and the dinners that she made. And then there was Grandma Giovannina Blanda Pintacuda. She was a remarkable lady. Both these women, one had 11 children, one had 10, of which 6 survived from one and 7 in the other. But they taught us well with their love and engendered in us a love of life, a love of family, and a love of respect. The last word is inscribed probably in this forehead that I think about most days of my life. And what about my own loving mother, Sophie, born Crocifissa Pintacuda? She was the center of our lives for my sister and I, and of course for her beloved husband, my dad, who passed away in 1973 at age 60. Much too young to die, while Sophie continued to be the socialite, living till 95. It was her faith, her love of God, and her love of church that has sustained me for my sister and me. And so today, all I really can offer you is that to you of NOIAW, I have in turn respected you and worked with you. Fond memories of your founder, Geraldine Ferraro, beloved Matilda Cuomo, who is still with us, our St. John's University graduate, who never forgot us or me for that matter, and of course, Aileen Riotto Siri, who shared the limelight with me both in Italy in 2004, when we had the combined meeting with the President of Italy, with NOIAW, and the Order Sons and Daughters of Italy in America. What a day. Imagine 2 of us with the President of Italy, with over 100 people there in the palace. A fair-minded, intelligent, well-balanced leader like Aileen, who has had a feeling for all of you and the people. She's never stopped her involvement for the good of NOIAW, so I praise her today for being a longtime friend. So let me conclude this brief time, for many of you know, having given lectures on financial aid to parents and students for 55 years, I can talk long. But let me say that I recall reading a line or two of Ronald Reagan's travels. And one thing I remember is that he felt at times as if he were on a train passing through towns and cities in America and wanting to get off and meet and hug the people. But the train kept moving. That's how I feel most of my life with all the people I know, love, and respect. I want to get off. I want to meet them. I want to share an experience, and I want to say what is good, what a great journey it has been thus far. And yes, there have been some derailments, but for the most part, the train went forward to success. May it continue not only for me, but for NOIAW, for the wise women of the Epiphany every year that I just love that idea. Thank you for your friendship, your love of what we are about, and for the respect we share for one another. Thank you.
The annual NIAF New York Gala honored 4 outstanding Italian Americans, including Angelo Vivolo, Beth Mazzeo, Silvio Petriello and Tony Bianco. Let's go to Cipriani's.
We really have witnessed our own Rinascimento, and we are doing so many things that have needed to be done for a long time. One of the things I'm proudest of is the partnership we established with Ambrosetti, which is Italy's leading think tank. Last year, we sponsored a white paper which was presented by no less a figure than our former Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, at their conference on the subject of the importance of the strategic relationship between the United States and Italy. Because I found it aggravating, as did many others, that when the news media in the U.S. talks about the American allies in Europe, it's always Britain, France, and Germany, as if Italy did not even exist. And this white paper helped us to prove that in many ways, Italy is actually a better and more important ally to the United States than those other countries.
It's always a pleasure to be with you, Anthony. It's an exciting evening. NIAF celebrating a great night with a bunch of great honorees.
So there's something a lot of people probably don't know about you. You were a teacher.
I was a teacher for almost 10 years in New York City Public High School. I had a great run, but then I decided that I wanted to make some money, so I followed my family's roots and I went into the restaurant business. But now, since I'm out of the business for the last 5 years, I'm more active in your community, in academia, than ever before. You know, as you know, CUNY is a privilege to serve, but it's a lot of work.
Well, we're lucky to have you, and we're happy to have you.
Thank you so much.
When I was a kid, just going to acting school, just turning 18, 17, just turning 18. Arthur Miller, the great Arthur Miller, came to our school, and he spoke to us kids. And he brought a scene of A View from the Bridge. And they played that scene. I looked at that scene, and I said, I am going to do that play on Broadway one day. And 28 years later, I did it on Broadway with him, me in the lead, and both our names were over the title. And he and I looking up at the title, at the marquee, and I said to him, now look at that. That's not bad for two kids from Brooklyn.
And later this month or next month, a new film is coming out, and you're in it somewhere in Queens.
Yeah.
I know you're a Brooklyn boy, but you're playing Queens.
Yeah, with Ray Romano.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
One of my dear human beings. And he directed the movie, he acted the movie, he produced it, and he wrote the script. And it's a wonderful film, again, about people, about Italians, about the human condition. No flying through the air or blowing up this or that or the other thing, or no puppets or crazy, stupid, silly things like that for children. This is a movie about human beings, you know, which is all I care about.
We need to build the bigger umbrella of mutual respect and support. When you offend one culture, ethnicity, or religion, you offend all. Building bridges and working together, we can achieve our goal of respect for all. I am so proud of our accomplishments. Like the preservation of the 1892 historical Christopher Columbus statue in New York City's Columbus Circle. It was our friend John Calvi who, as a member of the New York City Commission to review statues, was able to prevent the demise of the Columbus Circle statue. When there was a survey to create statues in New York City for women who contributed greatly to humanity, Mother Frances Cabrini, who received the most overwhelming support, was left out of the final selection. Can you believe that? Fortunately, our outrage received recognition and support by Governor Andrew Cuomo. It now stands proudly downtown at Battery Park City, facing the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island. A compassionate people who respect all cultures and ethnicities. Respect is an important component of our culture and something the world needs more of. especially during these times. Grazie per tutti e buonasera.
My Italian-American heritage is something I'm very proud of. Supporting this foundation, which helps to preserve the heritage, traditions, and cultures, is a great honor for myself and for my family. My great-grandma Sarah arrived here when she was a teenager, left Italy, came over alone, and never got to see her parents again. But what she did, she taught us the importance of hard work, family, love, being together, and sharing. My mom brought that forward and insisted our family continues those values and traditions. My mom taught myself and my siblings, along with her 8 grandchildren, the importance of love, and she was the greatest of cooks. Unfortunately, she left us in July, and we miss her terribly. Family, love, sharing, giving, being together, and yes, food is what it's all about.
Good evening. Tonight's a great honor for me. Growing up as an Italian-American, first generation, has been an incredible experience for me. My parents were born and raised in Italy. They came here in 1970. No money, no education, just seeking a better life for themselves and future generations. They believed if you worked hard, you can be successful and prosperous. It seems impossible today in that context. I was able to experience the Italian heritage, culture, and tradition by making homemade wine with my nonno and my dad, homemade sauce with my mom and my family. Our basement ceiling, we couldn't go downstairs because we were hanging cheese and sausage. I worked very hard to ensure that my children experience the same experience as I did. Italian was my first language until first grade. Super fortunate. I was the first to graduate college in a very large family.
When our parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents legally passed through Ellis Island and all other ports in their dream for a better life for themselves and their families, they were welcome to help build this country and share their culture, their architectural artistry, their genius, their magnificent culinary skills, magical singing voices, and their strong backs. The sacrifices our ancestors made in order to give us that chance for greater opportunities is a clear example of the purity of their love that ground each of our individual Italian families. In our daily lives, we are each ambassadors, here and abroad, representing our heritage, our professions, humanity, and most importantly, our country, America. We must encourage our children to have creative dreams, and we must give them the tools to achieve those goals for all the betterment of mankind. Let us go beyond our God-given gifts. Let us continue to be an example to the young of all ages, to be helpful, uplifting, polite, respectful, and most importantly, make our mothers, fathers, and grandparents proud. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. God bless you. God bless America.
Thanks for watching this episode of Italics. I'm Anthony Tamburri. Arrivederci alla prossima puntata.